Hi, I'm Anthony,
And I'm Roland.
and welcome to Twin Dragons. Welcome to our channel where we discuss everything tabletop games.
And more.
Well, today I actually wanted to talk about tabletop games. We talk about a lot of tabletop role-playing games, but we also love tabletop games.
Oh, like board games.
Like board games, right? We always think that, anything that, when you bring family and friends together, you create this sense of community at the table, right? And you're just having some fun together.
Or it will wreck your guys' day. Or relationships.
That it'll do. So let's talk about tabletop games that wreck us.
Oh, where do we begin? Where do we begin? I think we should start right with the elephant in the room. Mm-hmm. The one that has probably destroyed more families per capita. The ones that have torn apart Thanksgivings. The one that have ruined relationships and brotherhood more than anything else in this universe. Monopoly.
I love Monopoly.
Well, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, right? We may love the game itself. We may love to even play the game. But once it comes down to it and you begin to play, the rivalries begin to form, right? The division between the lines of relationship begin to appear. The chasm which expands between the family members and your loved ones
right.
start to
You are
manifest.
being way over dramatic. I agree and I understand, but I know where you're coming from because you get upset because your wife always trades with me and not you, and it just causes fights in the middle of the game because I'm just loving all the trading and I'm like, everyone trusts me.
As he gets upset as I start to crush him throughout the game.
I'm always winning Monopoly.
Okay. And henceforth, you see what I'm
Okay.
saying. You see what I'm saying.
A little disclaimer is going to pop up. I actually win most games. So just letting y'all know.
Right. So, as evidence to what I was saying, right? Monopoly is just one of those games, as classic as it is, as more than likely that's the board game that most people will have in their house. It is the one game that will destroy you.
I agree.
It's hard. There's very few that actually top Monopoly, right?
Nope. But I'm going to talk about one that kind of starts getting a little close.
Well, oh yeah, of course.
The one tabletop game that I believe also can cause some anger and frustrations at the table is Settlers of Catan. Here's the thing. This is what happens. You get your turn. You place, your town in a specific area, and in your mind, you start coming up with these strategies and which little hex you're gonna go on top of, and you're like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. And then when the other person's turn comes out and they're placing their town, they put it right in where you wanted to go, right next to you, and then you're like, what the heck? Okay, well, maybe I'll go this way instead. And then the next player after that puts theirs over there, and all of a sudden you're trapped in this little corner, and you're like, I can't do anything now. And now you're just frustrated because your whole plan just got ruined because everyone just randomly puts wherever they want, not really thinking of strategy, and now you're stuck in a corner, and now you're just annoyed this whole game.
Where Monopoly will drive a wedge in the family throughout the game, this is one that just kicks it right out to the beginning. So, I cannot tell you how I just, from the beginning, after placement, I already wanted to flip the table. I was like, I do not want to sit here for the next a few hours trying to dig my way out of a hole, which is impossible because I'm surrounded. So
Yep. Or mid-game, you started building your little road and you start placing your towns, and then they start building their roads, and all of a sudden their roads just cut off your road, and you're like, well, now there goes my road, right? Mm-hmm. Definitely, Settlers of Catan, love the game, but as you stated, can actually cause friction right from just placing the pieces on the table.
I think very few games actually capture that, where it starts right off the bat and everyone's already getting mad at each other. To move on to another one, one that we've played before. It's frustrating in a different sense, right? It's not the other players that upset you. It's the game itself that starts to really piss you off. And for me, that's Arkham Horror, right? So that's a game where we together are trying our best, right, to actually stop these crazy things from happening along the whole board as all these random events keep popping up, and we're doing our best to wrap ourselves around it to really hampen it. But no matter what we do, it just keeps going wildly out of control, and it keeps whooping us like terribly. And I get so frustrated with that game. Yeah.
Arkham Horror is one of those games. It is a cooperative game.
Yes.
It's a game that you play together to defeat the game itself. We've never beat this game.
It looks bad upon us where we have not beat this game.
We have not been able to finish this game. We've not been able to beat it. We can only get so far. But at some point, it is overwhelming with the amount of chaos that's happening on this board. I can't. I don't know if we can ever finish this game.
It is so frustrating. And like I said, it's not towards your fellow players because we're all just getting beaten down by this game. It creates such frustration that, man, sometimes I'm just like, you know what? I need a break from this. I can't play this anymore.
And it's one of those games that you need so much time to play. Like we tried for a almost 4 hour session, and we still couldn't beat it, and we weren't even halfway done.
Yeah.
So that one, frustrating game.
Yep, it wrecks me pretty good, that one. Oh yeah.
Another game that can definitely cause some frustration, kind of in the vein of some of the issues that we had with Settlers of Catan, Ticket to Ride. Ticket to Ride is a game where you build a giant train system, but then in the middle of that game, somebody can block you and then cause some problems.
Yeah, I think that's it's a, depending which way you look at it, it's like a Catan Light, or Catan is a light version of Ticket to Ride. Mm-hmm. And that's where all your best laid plans, or tracks as it were, are put down and then frustratingly blocked and have to divert. And then you might have the greatest cards in the universe. You just can't use those cards because you cannot connect the trains or the stations because people keep blocking you. I can see how that's very frustrating.
Yep. It's one of those games that it's not frustrating in the beginning, but when you get to the middle to the end, when everyone's blocking each other and you don't know which way to go, and then you just get so frustrated internally, you just get mad at other people for blocking you, and then it just causes that frustration.
I think for me, right? Not the game that frustrates me, but a game that I actually enjoy that frustrates the other players is Robo Rally. Right? Now, I will say that not for me to be frustrated. I enjoy it. But the other players of my group hate that game so much. They cannot stand the fact that they put down their lovely plans for their programming to make their robot go the way they want, all to have somebody else either laser shoot them or run into them, knocking them off their courses, putting them on a belt, flying them across the other side of the board, falling out into a void.
Man, that makes me so mad. Best laid plans.
Yep. So
fun, but man, that's a frustrating game.
So, like I said, for me, I'm okay with it. Everybody else seems to get a little wrecked by it. I'm not gonna lie.
One of the games that, when I think about, not just about frustration, but causes the players to start raising their voices, and we start just going almost yelling at each other, trying to convince each other of what we want. I think about the one night games, such as One Night in Werewolf, where it's one of the games where, one or two of the players can be a bad guy secretly, and the other players have to determine who those bad guys are, which players are those bad guys. But then it's like everyone's kind of lying to each other and tricking each other, trying to figure it out. And then when you get to the resolution of it, where you all have to convince each other, then people start yelling and getting mad, and they're like, well, no, I think you are, and no, you should point at this person, and because no, they have to be it, and you're like, how could it be it? It could be that. And man, everyone starts yelling and raising their voices, and man, you can get annoyed.
The feelings
I'm passionate about that one.
Broken trust when people don't believe you that you're not the werewolf, you're just a lowly citizen or a tanner, right? It's gotta be something. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's frustrating in a way, right? Because it's the other players, right, who are supposed to trust each other. No, it's a game about lying and deceiving 100%, and that just pisses everybody off.
That's because it's a game of deception. Mm-hmm. It's a game of actually literally pointing fingers at each other, because that's how you have to point at each other, like, who you feel like it's it, right? And whoever gets the majority, that's it. They die.
I'm so offended that you would pick me. Why would you pick me? Why?
Definitely, that's one of those games that can truly frustrate and upset family and friends.
Oh yeah. So yep. And then it builds trust issues for later events. I'm not gonna lie. Mm-hmm. So, and it bleeds into other games, and nobody wants to trust you anymore. I don't know why. So, oh man, I think to bring up another game, one that actually, it's not that it frustrates, right? It's not that it makes people lie to each other. It's not a game that makes you wonder, oh, he must be the bad guy. It's another one of those games, sort of in vein of the, not like the Arkham Horror game, in the vein of Arkham Horror, right? The Pandemic game, right? Where it is a cooperative game, right? So we do trust each other. We're trying to help each other out, right? But at the same time, it's the game itself which just frustrates you because of how overwhelming it is, right? Sometimes you pick the wrong card, causing an outbreak to happen, and just all hell breaks loose, and everyone's looking at the board at the same time like, what are we going to do? And it's just so frustrating, and it damages you morally, like wondering how the hell are we actually going to overcome this cascading virus that is destroying the world.
I think one of the frustrating points of that game is because it is cooperative, sometimes what ends up happening is that some players gang up on another player and tell them what to do. Oh no, you should do this with your play, with your during your turn. Do this, just do this. And the player's like, well, no, I think we should do this. But then everyone's ganging up on you because they think that the strategy that you need to do this in order to stop what's happening. And then they're kind of like bullying you into doing those moves, and you just feel like as a player you're like, well, I'm not making a decision. They're playing my character for me, and tell me what I need to do instead of me just deciding what's going to help the team best. Because in that cooperative, they're relying on you, but they're trying to make you do what they think you should do next.
Yeah, I think there's nothing more frustrating. I think it's more frustrating than even competitive games, right? Co-op games in some aspects, because you rely on the other players to do a good job, and then when you witness them doing the dumbest shit that helps nobody, you just lose your mind. Like, please, for the love of God, move there, do that. But it's their character, you can't do anything, they have to make that move, and their one move they make does nothing for you, and then you guys wipe out the next turn because nothing happened. So I think as a whole genre of board games, I think co-op games can be probably the most frustrating due to the fact that you lose agency and other people fail, not you failing, the other people fail for you. So that can be very frustrating.
Yeah, I can see that. Here's what it comes down to. Are you or other people that you're playing with, are they very competitive? Unfortunately, we both can be very competitive, some more than others, which can cause a lot of these games to create that frustration because of the competitiveness. That cooperative play that you were mentioning, it should be fun working together. But because if one of the individuals are competitive and they strive to always want to win, they can then become the aggressive, trying to take over what you're doing during your turn because they need to win, right? Because of that competitive nature. So, it's the competition within you that causes these situations in all these games.
In all honesty, as you said, it's all these games are in themselves not as frustrating as we're making them come out to be. Sometimes it's the players, we have to agree, the players that make these games more frustrating. And maybe your table at home is the most friendliest table in the world, and you guys are able to get through like Catan without ripping each other's heads off, and that's fine. That's great. I'm so happy for you. I wish we were there with you. But no, these are the games that wreck us.
Yes. And being twins, being brothers, having both the same competitive nature, our wives never want to play games with us anymore because of it.
Monopoly is a 4-letter word in our house.
It is banned.
It is banned.
But yeah, so in the end, if you're that competitive person, scale back a little bit, try to have some fun. Because these games that we mentioned are a lot of fun.
Yep. Comment down below. Let us know some of the games that wreck your parties.
If you like this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the notification bell and subscribe, as we have a lot more content coming out soon. Until then, see you next time.